Yo, GLM 5.2 should not require a PhD thesis so that you can go ahead and set up this model for your AI coding daily. I took the time to find the fastest one so that you can get up and running as fast as possible. Because I don't know about you, the annoying part about setting some of this stuff up is trying to configure and figure out how much quantization window, context, and all this other stuff that should really just kind of fly over your head. So I have a couple easy setups, and I also have some details in my blog down below. Let's go ahead and get a key set up for us, and I'll show you how easy it is to get this going. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just head over to base10.co, and we're just going to sign in and grab an API key from the settings. And Base10 basically serves GLM 5.2 directly, and it's US hosted. And at the time to first token, it's super fast, which is kind of the whole reason we're going this route. So the goal here is then just we're going to go ahead and go where it says API keys. And this is where we're going to go ahead and create an API key. So we hit create API key, and then we can just say, Droid, and then this will just be your personal here. So we hit create API key. So this key that I've basically blurred out is the key that we're going to go ahead and copy and hand over to the agent. So this is the part I like. Instead of me actually editing the config by hand, I'm just going to point Droid to Factory's own website for setting up base 10 for us so that we can wire the GLM 5.2 with my key. So this is the URL that we're going to use. And we're going to go into Droid and going to say, set up GLM. And here are some of the config details. And so the config details I'm going to grab are from here. This is like the model family information. And from here, it's going to actually give it some more information as far as how it can be configured. So for this task, I'm just currently inside of a folder here inside of Droid. So I'm using GPT 5.5 medium, and I'm just going to send this across. And what's going to happen right now is that it's going to configure Droid so that I can add this. What's nice now is that Factory is asking us for the next step, and it's saying, I will provide the key. I'm just going to go ahead and select that one. Please provide the base 10 API key, and I'll add it. So this is the configuration we actually wanted, which is nice. And we didn't have to sweat a lot of those details. So that key that we had over here that we had pulled up in our organization settings, we're just going to go ahead and copy that. And then we're going to go over here, and I'm just going to paste it in here. And once I pasted the key in here, so I basically did a validation to make sure that our current configuration is set. So now that I've restarted the app, I see it here at the very bottom. And for us to do a test, if you want to change the reasoning level, all you have to do is just hit tab at the bottom, and it'll change the reasoning for us. And let's just go ahead and make sure that this works. Duopo is about, there we go. So this is GLM 5.2, and it came in super fast. You can see this is the amount of tokens per second. So this repo is Mina. It's an iOS app. It's a SwiftUI MVP for live dictation, real-time translation, and it uses OpenAI's real-time endpoint. So it was pretty easy to select the model. It's up and running, and we have the full 1 million token context window, and it was pretty fast, right? So that's actually base 10. It's actually US based hosting, and it's pretty cool if you want to keep all your data, especially local to North America. So while we're looking through our models here, I also wanted to give you a heads up because you don't necessarily have to use the base 10 key there. You can also just use the existing subscription within Droid. So they also let you use this within half the usage limit. So you can actually get almost basically double the usage of normal if you just use the Droid Core GLM 5.2. And the next thing that I want to give you a quick heads up on is GLM 5.2 is actually text only. So you can't actually use any images. And that's kind of the limitation of the model as of right now. The reason why I'm recommending Droid and the reason why I'm recommending base 10 is that you have better model selectability, and you can actually drag stuff in, and then the Droid harness will actually try to figure stuff out. I actually find that Droid has a really great coding harness, and what that means is that's the thing that's actually doing the requests to the model, keeping stuff in memory, and doing all the other surrounding stuff to keep this thing on track and working towards your project goals. So if you're maybe looking for how to apply this inside of Claude Code, Codex, or some other IDEs, guess what? I have an actual bonus section here for you. In order for you to do that, you can just go to my blog post at rayfernando.ai, and I actually have one called GLM 5.2 Easy Setup. What's nice about this is that you can point your AI agent to this specific blog post, and it's going to walk the agent through how to do that for all the different coding agents. So in this case, it's going to use the Open Router key. And so with Open Router, you can just use one key and have all your different agents connected, or you could even tell it to use base 10. And the agent will actually be smart enough to figure out how to do that configuration just from my example here. So you have a couple different options. You can read through it if you want to actually read through all the technicals and understand a little bit more of what's kind of going on underneath the hood. But this is a really great resource here, and I'll have it linked in the description below. So click this next video here to watch me use GLM 5.2 in a real app.